Breaking news right now at noon. There is now a fourth case of coronavirus in Connecticut. We know that person in Stamford tested positive. This patient returned from international travel on Tuesday, March 10th, and was preemptively isolated at Stamford Hospital. The person did test positive yesterday on March 11th. Here is what we know about the three other confirmed cases. The first case is a man who lives in Wilton and is between 40 and 50 years old. He works at Danbury and Norwalk hospitals and may have contracted the virus on a trip to California. The second case is a woman in her 60s. She's a healthcare worker at Bridgeport Hospital and lives in Bethlehem. She is believed to have contracted the virus on a trip to Nevada. The third case is an elderly man who lives in New Canaan, and this is a case of community exposure. Central Connecticut State University is closing down the campus right now. The university has just notified everyone that a student might have been exposed to coronavirus, and our news crew was actually told to stay off campus for our safety. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino is live in New Britain with the very latest. Mike, what have you learned?
Well, Kara, the first thing is, as you said, might have been in contact. That's an important thing here. So what we learned is that this student was working with somebody at a location off campus and was just notified recently that one of her coworkers, or one of that student's coworkers, is currently being tested for COVID-19. So the student then notified officials here at Central Connecticut State University, and that's when they put this plan into motion. So they notified the campus this morning, shortly after 10:30, about the situation and that the campus would be closed, telling everyone except for essential employees to leave the campus. The essential employees are now staying in campus and are self-isolating while they await for the results of the test, of this COVID test, to find out if this individual who contacted the student does in fact have COVID. Once they get the results of that test, they will then figure out the next step here, whether or not they need to take additional steps or whether or not things appear to be okay right now. Now, it's important to note the timing of this. Central Connecticut State University, as with the entire CSCU system, was scheduled to go on spring break next week. The CSCU system telling the students at the 4 state universities and the regional campus community colleges that they were urged not to be on campus. Any students who were planning to stay on campus, they would make accommodations for them for that week. And then starting March 23rd, classes are going to be shifted online for at least a couple of weeks while they try to assess the situation and see if that needs to be extended. So it's really just these last 2 days before spring break that are impacted. But day-to-day operations here at Central were planned to continue. We had mentioned that email came out just after 10:30. It was as a class was ending and students were going to another class, which certainly started some concern. And as you'll hear from one student, there's a range of reactions to this. Take a listen.
Some people who think it's a joke aren't very concerned. There are other people who are very concerned, terrified, want to wear masks, washing their hands everywhere they go. So we have mixed reactions from a lot of people, but there's definitely concerns all around. Everyone's definitely nervous and feeling the pressure from it.
So this certainly remains a fluid situation here at Central with what they're going to do. Again, they're waiting on that COVID test, the results of it, to see whether or not they need to take additional steps and whether or not this student may have actually been exposed to the virus. So we'll be out here throughout the day waiting to see what happens and waiting to see what the city of New Britain is also doing in response to this. Reporting live from New Britain, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.